Hello and welcome everyone to our monthly App Spotlight webinar. I'm Leo from the Monday.com App Marketplace team. The App Marketplace allows you to explore and discover powerful solutions to further personalize and optimize your experience with Monday. This way you can maximize productivity and efficiency using our platform. This month's Spotlight focused on ways to taking control over time, as we know that managing time efficiently is essential, and with the right tools, you can achieve it easily. So today, we will be featuring two outstanding apps that are champions in this domain, Autoboost and 7Pace Time Tracker. You'll gain insights into the remarkable solutions and features offered by each app, accompanied by a live demo to see the impact firsthand. Feel free to engage with us. If you have any questions, drop them in the Q&A section. We also have a dedicated Q&A segment at the end of the session, so we'll be happy to address all your queries. So without further ado, let's begin with 7Pace Time Tracker. Enjoy the session. And Agnes, I'm stop sharing my screen so you can take control.
Sure. Good day, everyone, because I can see we are here from all over the world. So good morning, good afternoon for all of us. I'm Agnes Jodwiak, Senior PMM at Appfire, Marketplace, Platinum Marketplace partner. Today representing 7Pace Time Tracker, a professional time tracking solution that is seamlessly integrated into Monday.com. Oh, so sorry. So today, if you're a marketer, if you're a developer, if you're a manager, you want to be able to track time, your team's time, your own time, to be able to provide, you need to have a reliable insights into how your team works and how your team works are spending their time on the project. This is especially important if you're working with external agencies, if you're working with freelancers, and you want to bill your customers for the work that your team did for them, for the project. But how to achieve that if you don't have accurate data for reporting, or that's on an organization level, but if you're on your team's level, if you will ask your team members to use a third-party app to track their time, that will be not only frustrating, but also an extra work for them to do that extra work that they could potentially spend on project work. So, sorry, the answer to this, all these problems, is a 7Pace Time Tracker offering professional time tracking solution that it's seamlessly integrated to Monday.com and that is used to record, manage, and report on how your and your team's time is spent on projects. With 7Pace Time Tracker, you can easily track time to get those valuable and accurate insights to improve your planning on one hand, but also to have accurate data to report on project statuses, to manage your budget, and at the end, bill your clients. So 7Pace Time Tracker is a natively built-in app, meaning that your team members don't have to log into a third-party external app to log their time. It's intuitive and easy to use solution. So the onboarding time is also shorter because they use the app, the capabilities of the app that are built in into Monday interface. That means less time spent on time tracking, more time spent on project work. As a company, you'll get those insights. You'll get individuals' time view, time track view, but also the whole team and project data that will help you bill your clients. And a cherry on the top, we call it time management without limits. So unlike our time tracking solutions, the app allows several people to track their time on the same client, project, and item in parallel. So if several people attend the same meeting they work on the same item, they can log their time in parallel on the same task. But they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, so I better stop here and let my colleague Roman to show you the app in action.
Thank you,
Roman,
Agnes,
over to you.
Yeah, I hope you hear me. Thank you, Agnes, for the introduction. My name is Roman. I'm a product manager of 7-Pace Time Tracker for Monday.com. And I will dive now straight into the demo. You may play the video. Let's begin. Maybe if you can put it full screen. Let's begin with showing how easy it is to start recording time. I can add 7-Pace item view to a board with a few clicks and start tracking time on Monday.com items literally within seconds. Like here, I add 2 hours, a comment, save, and I'm done. Alternatively, I can use a 7-Pace template that will create a sample project together with 7-Pace My Time and All Time views that will make time tracking instantly visible to everyone in the workspace, like in this example. Now that we know how to install, let me walk you through a day of, let's say, a marketing consultant working on a project in a creative agency. This is a board with tasks I need to work on. Today I finished this one. And yeah, and all that I need to do to track my time is to open an item view where adding 4 hours is just a few clicks away. And oops, let's say I made a mistake here, so I quickly correct it right in this item view. Everything's fast and simple because only the end users are not bothered to add time and we get accurate data for reporting. As a bonus, our UI adapts to any Monday theme. You may have noticed also that the time I tracked is synchronized with a Monday numeric column. Here it reads hours spent. This is thanks to a 7-Pace integration recipe. Here I see the task has been underestimated and I should notify my team or my manager or, well, do something about it. You may say, that's all very nice, but when I work on tons of projects across dozens of boards, do I need to browse all boards and check my time there? Of course you don't. I can use my time view that lets me see my personal time across all boards and all workspaces. Let's say it's Friday and I need to review all the time I spent during the week. I check the weekly view and see that there are plenty of records already, but with certain gaps. So how do I add my time quickly from here? I just drag and drop to create a placeholder. Then I find the correct item or sub-item, and I'm done. This was only one record, though. Can I copy? Of course I can. I click duplicate and copy the record to wherever I need. This makes it quick and simple to fill out the whole week within just a few seconds again. If the weekly view is too detailed, I can zoom out to the monthly view and keep an eye on my work-life balance from here. But time is pressing and I have more things to show you, so I'll move forward now. Just to summarize, from the user point of view, I showed you how to add time within seconds. I know I'm repeating it, but it's quick. How to manage personal time using various calendar views and how to integrate with Monday columns to gather insights. But why to track time if you don't get useful data out of it? Let me wear a manager's hat for a minute and show you how 7-Pace can be used to track and manage project progress. As a manager, I can see all time entries recorded by anybody within my organization in this all times object view across all boards and all workspaces. I can slice and dice time tracking data by time tracking columns or by selected Monday columns. For example, I can see time tracked per board and per person to get a feel how people spend time on projects. When a client asks me how the hours on project EcoWeb were spent, I can group records by project and export respective time entries to a spreadsheet. together with Monday information. And because 7Pace Time Tracker is integrated with Monday boards by integration recipes, I can create dashboards like this one, where I can see the portion of the budget that has already been spent and other project metrics. If I see something suspicious, like there, where actual time was bigger than planned time, I can always drill down, which allows both sides, managers and workers, to have meaningful conversations based on data and not feelings. This wraps up our short demo. Make sure to check us out on Monday.com Marketplace, where you will find us in the featured section or just type 7Pace. Thank you for your attention, and I believe we may start with Q&A.
All right, so just one question from the audience that we have. Does the person have to manually enter time, or is there automation that will track it for the person?
Yeah, currently it's manually. I will keep the answer pretty short. It's manually because automations are not viable for every setting, and Monday is so flexible that it's quite a hard task to achieve. So currently it's manual. You have to record, but it's fast.
All right. Another question that we have is, does the person, if you have an external consultant, can they enter hours if they are not a Monday.com member?
Currently not. You have to be a part of the Monday account to add hours. But this is an interesting use case. Like, if you can, maybe Jenny, reach out and we can talk about this use case a bit more. I would like to hear more.
All right. And last question before we have to move on. And I know that there are some more questions in the Q&A section. So Roman, maybe you can just scroll through the Q&A and just answer questions. Yep. Also, one last question. How are we able to gather the time entries for invoicing? Yeah, using My Time View and exporting to a spreadsheet or copying data to a Monday board and doing your reporting there. Or also we provide some basic widgets that you can use. All right. You can also use the Monday automations just to create the item or mirrored column, just using the Monday capabilities. Yes. So, thank you very much, Roman and Agnes. I know Agnes has to go. Thank you very much for joining. And Shaul, it's your stage.
Thank you. So first of all, two things I want to say to Agnes and Roman. That was very, very good. Beautiful to see it. I can think of more than one use case my guys can implement it for. And let me just share my screen. There we go. Let me know when you can see my screen, guys. Yeah. Okay. So wait, before I deep dive into that, I would like to ask for your forgiveness in advance if I may need to quickly drop off the computer. Nothing too dramatic. I am located in Israel, and this could happen. And if so, I apologize in advance. That being said, okay, so what I'm going to talk to you about today is Autobus. I don't know if you guys had a chance to get to know it, but if not, so what Autobus is aiming to solve is the following. So as we know, Monday.com automations have their limits. So not every time you get the exact automation that you want in your specific use case. And sometimes you may need to think of ways to get around that, some workarounds or stuff like that, or even sometimes you'll have to do some work manually in order to get over that obstacle. So this is exactly what Autobus is trying to solve. Autobus is trying to give you that exact, that automation you couldn't find, Autobus has it. So this is what we're going for. This is the way we try to save time. So making more stuff automatic and kind of unlocking automation's capability around the system. So mainly what we know that is a problem to the Monday.com standard user is the fact that mirror columns cannot be used. That means that the ability to have cross-board automations is a bit limited. And then around formulas. So I may have a formula to tell me in the board that something is bigger than something. and maybe kind of do some calculations around it, but it's only front-end knowledge. The system can't operate based on that knowledge. That means you can't run automations on formulas, and you can't like actually do stuff around it. So sometimes you won't be able to draw it in the dashboard as you want, and you kind of need to have this leap between information and data points to get exactly what you need. So this is what Autobus is aiming to solve. So just kind of the value proposition around it, exactly to solve that issue. So create automations that are not in the native toolbox of Monday.com. We believe that Autobus is kind of the ultimate implementation tool to do every workflow. You'll need to know how to use it, but when you do, this is exactly what it can do for you. It can unlock all the workflows you would want. So kind of the main capabilities around it, as I said, so we can trigger automation based on what is called view-only data in Monday. So that's mirror columns, formula results, sub-item summaries, group summaries, stuff like that. We can take formula results and put it in regular numbers column. This allows us to do a lot of stuff around it. We know to do stuff around mirror changes, take that info from there and put it in the board, automatically copy data from one place to another, including sub-items, and including between sub-items to items and items to sub-items, all the things around that. And we can also use sub-items columns within formulas, which is something that native Monday can do. So without further ado, I'll quickly go into the demo itself. Before I go in the demo, I just want to say this is, you know, I chose like a very small part of what it does just to kind of show you the feeling around it. But then again, obviously it can do much, much more. And feel free, by the way, to reach out to me in the team if this is something that we can help you with. So just to kind of explain the initial, what we have here. So just to explain, we have a task board and we have a clients board. And the use case I want us to imagine is me being a client executive. Let's say I'm someone who's running the clients and someone else is doing the task around it. But I want to be able to pull information and do stuff and activate and communicate on the client's board and have info coming in from the task section, such as, do I have or do I not have active request? Am I on or off budget? Where am I based on the task in the client's board? Okay, so if I have a task board as such, let's put a new entry into one of the tasks. The way I'm going to do it, I'm going to go into Gmail. We've got a Gmail add-on, also something that could be interesting to some of the people here, that allows us to put emails into items. So I'll just choose some stuff around that. My client is Moveo in that case. And what we want to happen is we want to create an item specifically from here. So I'll create this item and what is going to happen is I'll have a new task. As we can see, I'll have a new task created in the task board. And what I want to happen is I have some automations around it. So timelines and the connection, it's all stuff that Autobus is doing for me. And in the clients board, as we can see, when I'll go into the clients board, so the Moveo client now, because the Miro status changed, is now moved from quiet to an open request kind of client. So stuff happened in the task board, something happened in the client board. When a Miro column changed here, so just so we can do this, the Miro column changes, apply a formula and set the result to column. And this formula is not an actual formula. We can put anything that we want in this formula. So let's say, for instance, when the Miro column changed here, we put an open request tab in the column section. This is how we got to the open request in the client status. Another thing we want to do, let's say I want to keep track about budget. So let me input a task here. So let's say I've got task 1. And again, some cool automations around taking info from the item to the sub-item. So I'm putting 10 days. This will tell me that if the due date is in the 18th, and this is 8 days, I need to start by October 8th. And let's input some more data here. Yeah, we saw based on that, I'm adding another task. So let's say another one with 4 days. That being we'll do the calculation. Autobus does it for you, the October 14th. Now, what I want to do is in the clients board, I want to see days taken versus budgeted days and the change of the budget status. Over here, we're on budget. But if I'll try to go to, let's say, Native Monday to try and help me do this around this calculation. So what I'll be able to do is, this is what it gives me. It gives me when a number is greater than a value, but this value needs to be a numeric value and not something from a different column. And also, I won't be able to reach this number column because it's a mirror column. So again, the ability to combine between formula and mirror column, this is how it looks like. I pick just a random, a random trigger, and then my formula is if the client days taken is bigger than client budgeted, give me over budget. If not, stay on budget. And this is what does it for me, exactly as we saw. So let's add another task. This time, give it a bigger number just so we can see exactly what we want to see happening here. So now let's pretend that it's a 50 days task. So in the clients board, what we'll see is that this aggregates, So over here, so now Autobus will check out the trigger. There we go. 64 is bigger than 45. It's over budget. I'll get the automation. I'll be able to actually use the data on the board, make things really come to life between this connection to task and client. And then again, what I would want to do is I want to close this. Okay, so I'm over budget, but let's say the task is closed, right? So what I want this to happen as a client manager, I want to know that this client does not have any open requests anymore and everything is done. So changing the status here, again, someone doing the task on the task board, not related to the client's board. On the client's board, now it will see the status is changed to open. Autobus will take this, change the client status to done, and move it to the quiet group. So the way we save time is actually being able to do much, much more with automations around Monday. So bringing that that inter-board connection, that is something that we believe is very valuable in the situation, and really makes this entire thing come to life. This is a very small example between one of the integrations that we can do. So everything around formulas and everything around, we can do stuff around the summary of groups and make this info come to life. We can take info from sub-item column in the formula. Again, when a sub-item created, take this info, do stuff around it, put it into a mirror column, take it out of a mirror column, really kind of, unlock everything that you would want to do with those automations and bring it to you so you can actually do it. So this is the video. I'll just say that we've got a how to use page that you can quickly enter from our page within the App Store. We're always here to help. Everything is super simple there, but we're always here to help if there's anything you need. And let's Q&A.
All right, thank you for this super interesting presentation. And Autobus has so many use cases that we can't cover it all in just 10 minutes. So there are many questions.
Yes.
So is it currently on the roadmap to expand mirror column formula capabilities for multi-board mirror columns?
Multi-board mirror columns. So that's a very good question. It's in the map. We are working on our ability to kind of understand how users are expecting for stuff to come around from multiple mirrors. We already unlocked a bunch of those capabilities, some stuff around statuses and stuff like that. But to your question, yes, it's on the roadmap, and feel free to reach out to us if you have any specific use case you think could be interesting for us to learn.
All right, and another question, is there an Outlook add-on? I heard Shaul mention a Gmail add-on.
We don't have it, but I think there is some on the marketplace, so feel free to kind of look for yourself, but I think it's in there. I remember some.
There is an ESL Outlook integration, which is really awesome. And one last question that we'll take here is about other integration. Is the app working with more integrations or just with Gmail and Boost?
No, so maybe it was a bit confusing, but the Gmail add-on was just to enter an item into the system. Autoboost does it within Monday, and it could do it around almost any use case. So if you've got any other integration on the background that is working within Monday, Autoboost knows to work with this info and do some stuff around it in the system. So it doesn't really matter where you start the flow with. It's around what you can do within the flow on Monday.
All right, amazing. Just to wrap it out, maybe Shaul, you want to mention more top use cases that you have in Autoboost and you didn't have time to mention in the demo?
I think that the ability to unlock really complicated formulas, and even not that complicated, but let's say formulas, it's something that we do in almost every use case. We have hundreds of use cases, if not thousands. So it's a bit confusing to pick one. But I think that if I'll deep dive into another subject, it will be around formulas. But there's so much more, and you can always come to the website. You can come to the app page itself, see what works for you, and reach out if you think there's anything else you need.
Yeah. In Autoboost website, there's a full list of all the formulas. That's quite a list. So you can check out there. Roman and Shaul,